The Callaway Paradym range of drivers has been taking the golf world by storm so far in 2023. I've even been using the Callaway Paradym Triple Diamond driver for quite some time now, and I've really enjoyed it. But it's not all been positive. Guys, in this video, I'm going to talk you through the truth about the brand new Callaway Paradym driver range. Should I be using the Triple Diamond, or should we all be looking at the standard Callaway Paradym? You see, during my fitting of the Callaway Paradym Triple Diamond, the numbers were astronomical, and even in all my testing, it worked very well. Having taken it out on the golf course a little bit more now, as I said, it's not all been smooth sailing. So let's see today just how these two drivers do perform. Guys, I've been inside testing numbers. I'm also out here today on the golf course where it counts. Guys, comment below which driver would you be going for. And I must say, if forgiveness is an element that you desperately want, I'm sort of coming round to the idea of the Callaway Paradym standard. Let's get down there. Two very different ball flights. And you see, guys, this is a very interesting test for me and a very interesting video because, like I said, whenever I've tested the Callaway Paradym Triple Diamond for numbers, it's been astronomical. The ball speeds have been mega high, been definitely the best performing driver of the year. But putting it in play where it counts, do you feel as confident looking down at that smaller, sleeker head? So, as I mentioned, two very different tee shots on this opening hole. One of them just at the right side of that fairway, that is the standard Paradym. The Triple Diamond clinging on for dear life down in the hedgerow. However, it has gone a little bit further. I suppose a low pull is always going to go that little bit further, isn't it? Guys, make sure you do stay tuned. Let's see just how these drivers do perform differently out here on the course, but also for numbers regarding ball speed, spin rate, and ultimately distance. But is distance the be all and end all? You see, if we're playing better ball here, we are certainly going with the standard Paradym all day long, even though it might be 10 yards further back. Still only a wedge into the green, and that should set up. Go on then. Oh, stop it. Stop it. An opening birdie. Chance. Okay, so hear me out. What is the truth about the Callaway Paradym? Which Paradym should you potentially use? And should you be using a Paradym driver at all? And what are the big differences around each Callaway Paradym driver? We all know that we've got that brand new 360 carbon wrap, which is in both of these drivers and in the Paradym X. You'll also note that if you look on the bottom, they both look very different in shape and in size. You'll also note that we do have a forged carbon on the bottom and a carbon composite crown on top. They are different strengths of carbon, so obviously the carbon on the bottom needs to be stronger than the carbon on the top because the bottom of the club hits the ground. Right, we're going to go standard Paradym first this time, and I must admit, I am starting to come round to the look of this a little bit more. The one thing I'm not a huge fan of, and Callaway might not enjoy this feedback, I'm not a huge fan of the detailings on top of the standard Paradym. So this is a standard Paradym on the left. You can see we've got the Callaway chevron for the alignment aid. We don't have that on the Triple Diamond. I love the looks of that kind of bog standard Triple Diamond. And the face alignment aids. Obviously, people are maybe wondering why we got it on the standard Paradym and not on the Paradym Triple Diamond. I don't really know, but for me, that stands out just a little bit too much. We all saw the pictures. Was it Xander Schauffele who put like permanent marker on there to make it even more prevalent? I think he put it on his Triple Diamond actually. But I honestly don't think you will be disappointed with either of these clubs. Main point being, listen to this, by the way. Like, that is as good a sounding driver as you're going to hear. Oh, it's just short of that bunker, perfect. And when initially testing these drivers, I did honestly think that the Paradym Triple Diamond just sounded a little bit sweeter, a little bit more, I don't know. But then can you sacrifice not sounding quite as good and looking quite as sexy for hitting more fairways? Because like I said, it's not all been plain sailing. But then when you hit shots like that, you're like, how can I not have this Triple Diamond in the bag? They're both identical, but I think the Triple Diamond snuck into the bunker. It might have just gone that little bit further. Does further mean more trouble? It might do in this occasion. Let's go and see where they are. And now I honestly think that one thing that both these drivers do have going for them is that shelf appeal. The head covers look absolutely gorgeous, the colour scheme looks fantastic, that carbon forged on the bottom, which you do see when you walk into the shop and see them on the stand, looks beautiful, and no two forged carbon soles are the same. They're like snowflakes, where they're all totally different because they are forged carbon. But I think one of the worries for me with people trying the brand new Callaway Paradym, the Paradym Triple Diamond and the Paradym X is not maybe using the correct one. You see, in a fitting, the Callaway Paradym Triple Diamond for me was outstanding. The ball speed was remarkable, it was fantastic. But then having taken it out on the golf course, I was sort of scared to use it a little bit, and that's honest feedback after having it in the bag for a couple of months now. So when I tested it again in the studio, wait and see what happened. Now the beauty about that is Callaway do have a driver in there for everyone. Even the Paradym X, which is much bigger, it has the movable weight like the standard Paradym does have, and it's just designed for people who want more ball speed on off-centre hits. So everyone is being catered for as long as you buy the right one, because these things aren't cheap. So the last thing you want to do is go and spend £500 on the wrong Paradym. And just as I thought here, the standard Paradym is short of the bunker, whereas the Paradym Triple Diamond is in the bunker. This is obviously a worse drive, but it's 15 yards further up there. So usually what I try to do here is aim at this bunker and draw it off. Neither of them move, that's pile of terror, but the Triple Diamond's further up. Which one wins here? Like if you're testing drivers really? It's got to be that one, has it? And you see, I've titled this video The Truth Behind the Callaway Paradym Driver. And I guess for me, the honest truth has to be that it's a good range of drivers. I think the technology that's in them is as close to revolutionary as you probably can get, but more so now than ever, it is vitally important you go and get fitted for the correct driver. And by correct driver, I don't just mean the driver that you hit the furthest in the simulator or in the fitting. Maybe go get yourself a personalised head cover as well. I actually had this conversation with Coach Lockett out in LA around drivers and around people's preferences with drivers. It's so easy to find yourself getting down a hole of numbers of how much ball speed can I get, what spin rate can I get, how far can I hit it, when you need to be more observant about where the ball's going. Guys, let's jump in the simulator room, let's see just how these two drivers do compare. I was in the zone then, send one down the fairway. Then let's get back to this possibly tightest driving hole in the world and see which one, if any, can hit this fairway. Because that may be more important than the next 30 seconds that you're going to listen to. So I tested the Callaway Paradym Triple Diamond driver against a standard Callaway Paradym driver, and it must be said, guys, that when you do tests like this inside, you might get different results on different days depending obviously how you are swinging. So it's really important that if you are going to spend the money on this and you can get access to a simulator room and to a couple of demo heads, maybe spend a couple of days doing this, just spread it out over a week or a couple of weeks, and don't just kind of jump in on one initial fitting, because fittings are great, but it's only fitting you to that swing on that day, and obviously we're not all that consistent like, well, tour players, are we? But I found this really, really insightful. I didn't really test the standard Paradym too much, very similar to what I did with the G430. I just thought the low spin model would be for me. Check that out for a ball flight, by the way. That's gone absolutely miles with the Triple Diamond. And for me, you'll see the ball speeds are pretty much exactly the same. Launch angle, very similar. The Paradym standard, just launching a touch higher, spinning a little bit more. And you can see those distances are pretty much exactly the same. One big thing you can see, I hit one really bad one with the Triple Diamond. That one went left. That one could be the one that cost you a couple of shots in the round, whereas I didn't really hit many bad standard Paradym drives. So as you can see, very interesting numbers, very similar numbers, very good numbers on both counts. Right, I'm not going to tell you which one's which here. I'm just going to hit them, see if you can tell the difference. That's absolutely brilliant. That is so good. Yes, match that. Straight down the middle of that fairway. I think that first drive has gone further. Amazing how two drivers from the same family that look so similar can provide such different results. Guys, the first drive there was the Triple Diamond, the second one was the standard Paradym. You can see that with the difference in launch angles. Straight down the middle of that fairway. Brilliant. The big thing here is being able to move those weights around in the Triple Diamond. Which one would you have in the bag? Guys, comment below, which one would you have in your golf bag? Thank you so much for watching. The truth about this driver is you must go and try it if you're in the market for a new driver Apart from that, I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow. Bye.